KZMB All Zombie Radio.
Hello. Oh, I'm glitching, I bet. Hi. Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Limited Series Lounge, in which we talk about series that are limited in their run. And why is happening? Forgive me. Everything's falling apart. Oh, God. Discord is effing downloading something again. Why? I don't even know if we're actually live. Okay, good. We are. Thank God. Hi. If you haven't already, I don't know why you would, but go ahead and click like on that video because holy cow. Okay, so my breaker just popped twice in a row for this whole room, which has the modem and the computer and everything else. It's fine now. It's figured out. It's too many things plugged into one. Um, but now everything on my computer is installing and doing whatever. Half of my screen is not visible right now. If there's a chat and there's a comment, I can't see it. Anyway, we're here to talk about the 9th and penultimate episode of Over the Garden Wall, entitled Into the Unknown, in which we finally receive a little bit of context to Wirt's weird clothing choices. um, okay. Everything stopped. Everything stopped all at once. Great. I can see the screen again. Yikes. This makes me feel ancient when this happens. Like I'm some idiot who doesn't know how computers work or something. I'm not. I promise. I promise. It is super laggy though because everything's trying to start up all at once. But anyway, let me try to figure this out for you. Try to give you some info. Okay. Sorry, folks. This is embarrassing to say the least. All right. Before we go there, let me also pull up this. Love you guys. Thanks for waiting for me. Okay. Problematic. This is problematic. Okay. All right, here we go. Finally, got it all pulled up. Great. All right, Into the Unknown, the 9th episode of Over the Garden Wall, was storyboarded and written and directed by Cole Sanchez, V. Nigan. Nope. No, yep. Gwen. And Zach Gorman. And it aired on November 7th, 2014. This was the final night of Over the Garden Wall's run. Again, it ran Monday through Friday, 2 episodes a night. And I say episodes, even though they're very short, anywhere from like 8 to 12 minutes. And this one aired the first of 2 airing on Friday night. So its ratings are going to be the same for this week as they will be for next week. It's 1.13, which is lower than any other night. And to be fair, it was a Friday night. It did air in the evening. It did not air in the morning from what I can remember. As again, I did DVR it back in the day. And I believe it aired in the evening. So Friday night for a not a kid-based cartoon, but rather like a teen to adult-based cartoon. It makes sense. It wouldn't have as high ratings as another day of the week. So that checks out. Now, what I didn't share previously, what I failed to share previously with you, is that there's one more episode, right? Then the show's over. There's also a 10th anniversary short that came out. in last year, around actually almost exactly a year ago. And so I'm thinking I will also watch that, and we will also cover that next week on the last episode of Limited Series Lounge until it goes on hiatus for summer. All right. Over the Garden Wall, this episode, Into the Unknown, stars the following voices. Elijah Wood, wow, as Wirt, Colin Dean as Gregory, and then we've got some other people who we haven't had so far. So you might have recognized Beatrice's mother's voice, because I would say that was kind of the standout in terms of voice acting. That voice was Shirley Jones. Shirley Jones. And you might be like, that sounds familiar to me. That's because she did a fair amount of acting in her lifetime and was on she's kind of like a that guy. So let's take a look at some of her more famous works, okay? All right. Now, she was Lori in the famous hello Marcus, thank you for being here. Famous Oklahoma, the musical. So kind of a big deal. She was in a lot of things after that. I'm just looking for the things that are really they are going to be very recognizable. She played Marion in The Music Man. She played, let's see. There's a lot of movies in here, but I want to give you the most recognizable. She played Shirley Partridge in The Partridge Family. That may be a recognizable thing to you. She played Shirley Miller in the television show Shirley. She was in The Love Boat for 2 episodes. She was in Hotel for 2 episodes. She was in Murder, She Wrote for 2 episodes. She was in Melrose Place for an episode. She was on The Drew Carey Show for 3 episodes. She was on Sabrina the Teenage Witch for an episode. She was on That 70s Show for an episode. She was on Law and Order SVU for an episode. She was in the movie Grandma's Boy. She played Grace. She was in 6 episodes of Days of Our Lives back in the early 20-aughts. She played Mona Patterson on an episode of Victorious. She played Grandma Linda Duncan in Good Luck Charlie. She was in 2 episodes of Cougar Town. She was in 1 episode of Hot in Cleveland. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Oh, she was in 3 episodes of Raising Hope as Bert's mom, which is why she looks recognizable to me. Even though she's been in a million other things. That's the thing I know her for. So Shirley Jones, she played Beatrice's mom, so that was that voiceover. Obviously, we had some other people, right? There's Sarah, there's weirdo Jason Funderburker, and then there's just additional voices listed as the other people that are unnamed, these unnamed other characters. So the additional voices were done by Ashley Birch. She is known for her roles as Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn, Tiny Tina in Borderlands. Looks like Rowdy from Fallout 4 as well. A lot of video game voiceovers. Okay, Sarah was voiced by Emily Brundage, and she is a writer and an actress, and she's known for only a handful of things. Okay. She is known for Over the Garden Wall, and then she's known as writing Goldie, the short that then the TV series was based off of, and that's very recent. That's this year. And then also was a writer for Hilda, which is also a cartoon that was on Netflix, if anybody knows that. So that is what she is known for. And then Cole Sanchez not only was part of the writing, directing, storyboarding team for this episode, but Cole also did additional voices for Adventure Time, which makes sense because this whole kind of crew of people. are related to Adventure Time. Long Live the Royals was a writer for that and was a writer also for Infinity Train. Um, Most recently is doing voices for Adventure Time Fiona and Cake. And that's really it. So, anyway, so those are the voice actors for this episode. We'll go ahead and jump into our normal little reading of reading. What is it? Overthinking animation. Oh, I can't remember. Well, I'll find it. I'll find it. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Revisiting fiction. Revisiting fiction, overthinking animation. I got there. I got there. I had to, I had to look it up, but I got there. All right. So again, this was someone who in 2020 decided to finally make it through their list of TV shows and movies that they've been waiting to watch during, I'm sure, COVID closures and just, less fun. We just did less things. And has not written in this blog since 2022. There is no name attached that I can find, so I don't know who wrote it, but thank you, stranger. Hello, Losertown. I like your username. It's cute. Okay, so in episode 9 of Over the Garden Wall, we finally learn how Greg and Wirt wound up in this mystical forest full of terrors and oddities. I take personal validation in being mostly right. The episode title is the same as the title of the song sung by that frog in the first episode. I have nothing to draw from that. I just wanted to point it out. So it's more of a cold stream or a river, but Greg and Wirt are at the bottom of a body of water, and it absolutely is Wirt's fault. Man, does Wirt have anxiety bad. Even I wasn't this nervous around my peers. I mean, I was, so like, you can be. You definitely can be. With the way Wirt keeps acting around people, one would think he gets bullied at school when really he doesn't seem to. Everyone seems pretty chill with everyone, Wirt especially. Heck, with the way he talked about Jason Funderburker, I was imagining a stereotypical high school jock like Jimmy, not what we actually got, which I think is the whole point. That's the subversion of expectations portion of this, is that Jason Funderburker is a total dweeb. Like he's got like a kind of a goofy voice. He's like short. He's really thin. He is like telling a ghost story and like tries to like touch Sarah's hand and she's not interested. So it's just very very the opposite of what you're expecting, which is like some beefy high school jock who essentially who Jimmy was. That's who you're expecting Jason to be. This show is very big on subverting expectations and stereotypes. I don't blame Wirt for jumping over the wall while being chased by a police officer with a terrible sense of humor and accidentally endangering him and Greg's life. That was his justified fear and adrenaline, robbing him of common sense to check his surroundings. No, the reason they're in this mess in the first place is because he was too in his own head to pay attention to what was actually going on around him. Hi, Durga. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Let me come back. I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to come back to it. Time and time again, Greg shows Wirt that all he has to do is be himself and mediocrity will happen. No one is completely wowed by anything Greg does. They just kind of nod and treat him like a person, answering his questions and giving polite responses to the weird stuff he does. Wirt is the one who acts like everyone he lays eyes on wants to punch his face in. Again, I know it's anxiety, but the moment your anxiety endangers others, you need professional help. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's clear as day that Sarah doesn't even like Jason that way. Get out of your own head and just give her the tape work for crying out loud. Granted, Wirt should be mortified about the mixtape. It's not even a proper mixtape. It's a recording of his poetry and clarinet playing, which is by far more personal and far more mortifying to give to other people, truly. Greg and Wirt's dynamic reminds me of early Steven and Lars from Steven Universe. Lars would be all high strung and jumpy around the cool kids, while Steven would just interact with them like all parties involved are mortal humans and not untouchable Olympic deities. And guess who constantly had the better time during those episodes and became fast friends with said cool kids? Moral of the story: relax sometimes. It'll do you some good. We also get to see Beatrice's family. It's way bigger than I thought it'd be. I figured the curse would spread to Beatrice's immediate family, mother, father, siblings, not the extended, unless this is her immediate family. I'm just going to walk away from this. Beatrice just dropped Wirt off with her family, meaning she's too guilt-ridden to face her family, or she saved Wirt and immediately after seeing Wirt's in safe hands / wings, went to search for Greg, or a bit of both. I have no idea what she could possibly do against the beast if Beatrice can help in any way. I'm all for it. I say knowing that this is all some sort of maybe dream, maybe limbo, and that Wirt and Greg's survival depends on Wirt and Greg's willpower to live alone. Was it always known that Greg and Wirt were stepbrothers, or was I supposed to find out in this episode? Because that's the kind of information I definitely would miss. Also, heck? Greg is supposed to be an elephant. What is Wirt supposed to be for Halloween? Regardless, there's only one episode left, and I hope it both terrifies me and ends happily for the boys. I just can't imagine a way to defeat the beast. So, this episode was great. I enjoyed the little backstory. Again, I watched this when it came out, but I do not remember this episode at all. I knew that there was some tie to like our world in some way, and obviously the clothing choices were meant to kind of place this out of time. But now we find out that it was Halloween. And so their costumes. What is Wirt? I have no idea. Is he a gnome? Is that a gnome costume? Why did he have a fan blowing? Why did he want the cape to flutter? I'm very confused by it. Greg's weirdly made more sense to me. But we get this little backstory. We find out what happened with Sarah and Jason Funderburger, who we've heard mentioned before in a previous episode. And we find out that, again, like subversion of expectations, Jason is not at all what we would expect him to be. And so he's not really the threat that I think Wirt assumes that he is. Sarah clearly wants to spend time with him, and all he had to do was just go to the cemetery and like be normal instead of being so weird about absolutely everything. Is it weird to give a girl a mixtape that you made of yourself playing clarinet music and reading your own poetry? Yes, it is. End of story. That's weird. That's always going to be weird. In no world is that not weird. And this comes from a girl who used to love to make an early 2000s emo mixtape and leave it for a boy. I have done that. Anyway, I enjoyed it. Where is Takeerah, you might ask? You started the show late and your co-host isn't here. I don't know. I spoke to her earlier today. She was working and she said, I'm going to watch the shows and then I'm going to sleep when I get home and I'm going to set an alarm. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do both of the shows tonight. And I think that she may have overslept. I think she may have overslept, which is fine because she should sleep. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. All right, Durga, you were asking me about The Devil in Disguise, the John Wayne Gacy show. I have not watched it. Should I? Is it good? I've seen a lot of people talk about it, but when things get like so popular like that, I have a hard time watching it because when I tell you I tried to watch Baby Reindeer, I did not find it interesting. It was boring and it kind of made me sad. And I think everyone in it was just really unlikable. Not the actors, like the concept that these are real people. So you tell me. Should I watch it or would I like hate it? I don't know. I do enjoy true crime stuff and John Wayne Gacy stories jacked. He's not like I mean, I don't know. What was I going to say? He's just gross. He's super gross. He's always been gross. He's just the grossest. The clown thing really creeps me out too. Durga, you loved it? Okay. What is it on again? Is it on Netflix? Maybe I'll give it a chance. It's hard because we've been like Squawking Dead has been covering Daryl Dixon, and we're moving on to Welcome to Derry this next week. So like with the podcast that I'm with, we're covering those shows. I've been covering Over the Garden Wall and High Potential here. And then also like trying to, have a normal life and social life. And also I have mentioned this on this channel already. I haven't I have not I have not posted the public post yet. I'm waiting for maybe a couple more weeks, but I'm just gonna say it on this episode because it just doesn't matter and nobody watches this shit anyway, so it just doesn't matter. But I'm growing a baby, so I'm just really tired all the time. So I'm like, it's hard for me to like stay up and watch stuff. It's on Peacock. Okay, so I saw people talking about Ryan Murphy being involved, and that was kind of like a red flag for me too. Um, and I'm glad that you said that, actually, Durga. I'm really glad that you said that. Durga says, I was happy that I didn't walk away feeling like trash because I felt bad for him. Ryan Murphy does love to, I don't know, make you feel bad for the wrong people, truly. And also just like, it's just like tragedy porn with him. Like always. Anyway, I would give it a shot. What I'm going to do now, unless there's any questions about Over the Garden Wall, because I'm happy to look into anything from that. But honestly, this is a very straightforward, self-explanatory episode. Okay, I don't think Ryan is involved. Ryan is involved in some true crime thing right now. Let me look that up, actually. He's involved in some true crime thing because someone posted that shoot. Let me see if I can find something. Let me see if I can find something about him. Because I saw someone post that like something about like they were like telling a story about a daughter being murdered, and of course Ryan Murphy's like gonna really just play up the wrong side of it. Okay, let me see if I can find out what he's doing now. It can't. Everything that he's done hasn't come out in a couple of years. It's like, it's like the Dahmer story and the Menendez brothers story. Did he do Ed Gein? Stop. Yeah, maybe that was okay. I knew that's the one with the weird voice situation. Also, why are they doing so many things about Wisconsin serial killers right now? Oh, that's right, because they have like the highest per capita rate or whatever. Oh, that's right. Maybe it is Ed Gein that he's involved in. But I don't know. I'm gonna type that in. Yeah. Maybe. No. Yep. No. Okay. I think it's just a misnomer. Durga says I had to stop watching Ed Gein. I had to stop watching the season of Monster because I'm detecting a pattern. I don't like what it's doing to my emotions. That's fair. I didn't even bother to watch it because I heard such like mixed things about it. So Monster, obviously, which is on Netflix, that's covered a couple different things. Are you serious? Ed Gein is played by Charlie Hunnam. How am I to process that information? Wow. Cool. Okay, this has nothing to do with Over the Garden Wall, so I'm going to stop talking about it now. This is wild. And I'm actually going to take a break now. And I will be back on the other stream that'll be on my channel at 8 for High Potential. So if you're interested in watching that, please join us again at 8. I'm saying us like It's so bizarre, Durga. It's so bizarre. I'm saying us like Takeerah's here, but she's not here. Anyway, maybe she'll show up for the second show. I'm not really sure. Anyway, if you were here and you enjoyed it or at least didn't hate it, go ahead and hit that like button on the video. And I will see you guys in a little bit. So I'm just gonna take a little break and then I'll be back at 8 p.m. for High Potential, the evidence board. I will see you guys then. Thank you for being here. Thank you to everyone who was here. Marcus was here. Durga, you were here. Thank you. Love you. And then also we had someone new. And of course, the chat won't let me scroll. Loser Town, because I thought it was cute. Because I thought it was a cute username. So anyway, I hope to see you guys back for the next stream, but I understand if you want to move on to something else, totally get it. Or if it's not your bag. And join us next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the last episode of Limited Series Lounge as it takes hiatus until summer for, I think, very obvious reasons that I shared with you in a whispery voice. I need to take a break from doing so many things. So I will see you guys in a little bit if you join us over on that other stream. Bye.